Well, hello parents. How you doing today? We're back from break, so obviously we've had probably a lot of opportunity to have to set boundaries for teens, which is a wonderful topic. Oh, brother, I don't know. When we talk about setting boundaries for teens, anyway, well, let's give this a shot and talk about boundaries. So, actually, my dissertation for my doctoral program was in healthy boundary setting for teenagers. And I have a few things I thought I'd share with you today that might be beneficial. So, first thing, when we talk about setting boundaries for teens, I'd like you to think back to when you were in high school and how things went for you. Usually, what we're trying to do is have our teens not do things that we might have done at certain times. And, you know, it's definitely not easy to parent teens. We know that. And that's the result of, when they're eye rolling and talking back and slamming doors. And we sometimes think they're nuts. Well, they kind of are. The reality is that their brain is in a different spot than us adults, hopefully. And many of us adults are a little crazy ourselves, and talking about me. But teens are usually at their worst when they're with their family members. That might sound crazy, but how many times have you heard, "Oh, your son or your daughter is a wonderful person," from a teacher or a coach or whatever, and you're sitting there shaking your head, smiling, but you're going, "Man, if you would see him at home." But anyway, on with the show. There's a few tips I want to give you, and some of the information I have is from getparentingtips.com off the website, but I thought it was very valid information. That one of the most important things to do for us parents is to show respect. It's hard to respect somebody when they're rolling their eyes, slamming doors, whatever. But it's truly our job to model respectful parenting, which means that we're not going to lose it, even if we're uncomfortable. They're going to watch how we handle situations and difficulties, and that's where they actually learn to handle their own. When things are really hot, heated, boy, for sure, just take 15 minutes, go in another room, say, well, we're going to talk a little bit later. Do whatever you got to do, because when we're in our fight flight mode, we're really not thinking clearly. So, what's really important is setting very clear family rules and boundaries. Um, Teenagers want to be heard, and I think it's important to talk about boundary setting with them. What are the behaviors expected, and what are the consequences if, in fact, they don't adhere to the boundaries, so they don't advance. It's a difference between punishment and boundary setting. Is punishment is you just come up with something after the task or after the fact, if you will. So what I'd like to suggest is that you give your teen plenty of time to express their concerns when you're setting a boundary. And you don't have to agree with them, but they need to be heard. So if you're busy on your phone, or you're kind of turning your head, or you're angry, they know you're not really hearing them because you're set in your ways. So it's important to have that as calm as we can be relationship when we're setting rules and boundaries. Obviously high school kids, they don't care about getting yelled at as much. They don't care about little things. What's effective is that they know that if the boundaries are set, and then something that motivates them, they're going to lose that privilege for a period of time, and that's very important to have that period of time set. If you're late for curfew an hour, the next day you'll be in an hour early, whatever the boundaries are that are comfortable within your family. So, cell phones, obviously, it's a lifeline now, but that's a privilege. That's not something that, they own, or even if they own it. That those are things that are important. Video games, and by the way, it's not how much you punish them that matters, that you think, well, if I punish them firm and hard. Boundary setting is saying, if this occurs again, or if this happens, you're going to lose that privilege for 2 hours, a day, 2 days. We don't want to go to extremes for till I say so, because teens don't care about things that are till I say so or forever. They could care less. It takes away the effect. And then we want to focus on the bigger picture. What are you really looking for here? Don't get caught up in their drama and outbursts, eye rolls and things. Just what do you really want from your kid? At the moment they might look like a meatball, but meatballs get cooked and turn out fine. And so we want to address rude teen behavior immediately, though. If they're being rude, that's time to cut off the conversation, that I'm not going to sit here and have you simply bully me. You're teaching them how to set boundaries, and how you treat me is what I will accept, and then you're teaching them what they should accept in their life. It's going to be hard to stay calm and in control, but when kids are yelling, it means they feel out of control and they're really looking for something to fix whatever the problem is. So stay true to your word. If you set a boundary, be firm to it. So don't set a consequence that you aren't going to adhere to. On the other hand, set firm boundaries and just stick to it and empathize with them when they say, this is unfair. I'm sure it feels unfair to them. So, empathize with them. What's really important, though, is to build a relationship with them ahead of time, and it's not just about setting boundaries. The relationship comes from spending time with them, without a phone. 30 minutes once every other day is significant in our culture. Once a week, a movie, something to that effect. You're not going to get them to settle down for more time than that. Their mind is all over. Family time does matter. And I want to close this with it's so important that your kid, you're not trying to make your kids feel like you're cool. We know you're cool already. I mean, you've proven that. You got kids, right? So your job is to be the parent, not the friend necessarily. So kids are expected to act impulsively, get into accidents, choose dangerous or risky behavior, misunderstand social cues and emotions. That's what they're supposed to do. That's brain maps that tell us that. They don't get it sometimes. So keep trying, don't give up, and if we can help you here at school in any way, let us know. And also, don't forget that the information I was sharing with you, parts of it was from getparentingtips.com. Feel free to Google that up. I think you might find some information there that's helpful. Have a great day and enjoy life.